Good afternoon to one and all present here. This is Shakila, MK, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, SSMRV College. It's my pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome you all to the 7-day national level webinar on the topic Revised Assessment and Accreditation of NAAC Changes and Challenges, hosted by Sivananda Sarma Memorial RV College, Bengaluru, in association with National Assessment and Accreditation Council, NAAC. This webinar is an initiative by IQAC. We, the organizing team, on behalf of SSMRV College, would like to once again give a warm and pleasant welcome to everyone. I feel honored to take you through yet another inspiring day, the day 2, NAAC Criterion 1, topic concerning curricular aspects. Accreditation means a lot to any higher educational institution. After accreditation, we need to ensure that any tweak we make is not affecting the existing standards and rather it must contribute to raising them. It's our privilege to have got the opportunity to organize this event under the able guidance of Honorable Principal Dr. S. Anil Kumar Sir, respected Director Dr. Geeta R. Ma'am, and Head of the Department of Commerce and IQAC Coordinator Dr. M.S. Nagraj Sir, who have been with us all along and are here today as well. Here are a few instructions that we would like all the participants to follow during this webinar. Please pay attention while I read them out for you. Dear participants, you will have to mute your audio and turn off the video. Please click the microphone toggle and the video toggle symbol off within the Google Meet app. Don't click on the Present Now toggle which appears on your screen. For any questions, please post via chat window and it will be taken up at the end during question and answer session. We request to please keep it very professional and only ask questions related to the content of curricular aspects criteria 1 of NAAC. Use headphone or earplugs for better audio experience. At the end of the day, a feedback Google form link will be sent through chat box and WhatsApp group. E-certificate will be issued by SSMRV College to only for those participants who attend the webinar and submit the feedback form. We are pleased to have in our midst the esteemed resource person for the day, Dr. Deepak Jaroliya, Professor and IQAC Coordinator, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. It's my pleasure to wholeheartedly welcome you, sir, for this session. Sir, thank you for taking time from your busy schedule and consenting to be our resource person for the day. Now, I request Mrs. Vidya, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to introduce our esteemed resource person for the day 2. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Shakila ma'am. It's my privilege to introduce the resource person of the day, Dr. Deepak Jaroliya, Head IQAC, Professor in the area of System and Analytics with Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore. He is in charge of Internal Quality Assurance Cell since 2012 and successfully handled NAAC accreditation process consecutively 3 times and institute accredited in first cycle 2009 with grade A, second cycle in the year 2014 with grade A, and third cycle in 2021 with grade A++ with CGPA 3.57. Professor Jaroliya has also acted as Nodal Officer for Governance Benchmarking Activity 2019-20, where PIMR Indore being identified as the most promising higher educational institution in the state of Madhya Pradesh by Department of Higher Education in association with World Bank. He has conducted and participated in various development workshops organized by top business schools like Indian School of Business Hyderabad, IIT Roorkee, Indian Institute of Management Indore, etc. He has conducted workshops for various organizations like JMC Projects India Limited, Indian Postal Department, MP Police Training Center, etc. He has presented research papers at various national and international conferences held at IIM Ahmedabad, ISP Hyderabad, IIT Bombay, NITIE Mumbai, IIM Kozhikode, SP Jain Institute of Management and Research Mumbai, Nirma University Ahmedabad, etc. His research and teaching area includes digital marketing, MS Excel, cybersecurity, e-commerce, and research methods. Under his able guidance, Institute acknowledged as mentor institution by UGC under UGC Paramarsh scheme since 2019. Presently, Professor Jaroliya is also working as accreditation ambassador as per UGC Paramarsh scheme and mentoring 7 NAAC aspiring government institutions in the state of MP. Under his guidance, IQAC conducted academic and administrative audit as per NAAC guidelines in 2019 by external agency MET recognized by State of Gujarat government and received A++ grade in the audit. In the year 2019, In the year 2019, IQAC organized National Revised Accreditation Workshop in association with NAAC. In 2016, IQAC has organized 3 days national workshop on choice-based credit system sponsored by NAAC to facilitate the implementation of CBCS system as per UGC guidelines. Sir, it is an honor to have you as a resource person for the day. Over to you, sir.
First of all, thank you. Thanks, madam, for the detailed introduction. And I'm sure that the institution is organizing this workshop, so that is really a quality initiative from your side. So let me share my screen to start with the presentation now. Can you stop sharing from your side? Yeah, thank you.
Participants, please ensure that you keep your audio and video muted so that we have a smooth session. Any questions, please type it in the chat box. Thank you.
I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Should we start with this? Yeah. My request to the organizing committee, in case if I'm not audible or my slides do not move, means not at your end, then please inform me in between only, so that it would be easy for everyone. Okay?
Sure, sir.
Thank you. So good afternoon to all. I'm Dr. Deepak Jaroliya, and I'm going to have the presentation on the NAAC accreditation, basically the criteria 1, which talks about the curricular aspects. Now, with the basically it is to build the awareness in context to the accreditation, NAAC accreditation, and the benefits for the higher education institution. No doubt, my presentation will focus on the first criteria only, but directly and indirectly it will contribute to the same. the quality practices, and that too especially in context to the curriculum framework.
Deepak sir, can you make the slides as full screen?
Is it?
Yes. Yes, sir. We can. If you could make
Now?
it full screen.
Yeah, I made it full screen from my side.
Okay.
Is it visible to you?
No, sir. We can see the other slides as well.
Okay, give me a minute.
Okay.
Let me try again. Now is it visible in the slideshow mode?
1 minute, sir. No, sir. Not.
Okay, because normally at my end it is in the slideshow mode only. So let me move to the normal mode, because what happens, this usually happens with the Google Meet. This is the problem basically, because last time I also made a presentation in the Google Meet only. So this has happened actually, that though I was making presentation in the slide mode, but it was not visible to the on the other side actually.
Okay, sir. So you can share the try sharing the slides again. Now we don't see your presentation at all.
Okay, no issue. So now my presentation is visible. Now my presentation
Yes,
is
sir.
visible.
Yes, sir. Yes,
And
sir.
that
Yes,
with
sir.
the
Now
slideshow
it's
mode.
perfect. Yes, yes. Exactly,
Okay,
sir. That's fine.
thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So I request other participants to mute themselves, please. Okay, thank you. So as we all know that the in broader perspective, we can say that it is now, if we understand the accreditation framework, so these 7 criteria are divided into 32 key indicators that for the affiliated institution, because right now, as communicated, that most of the participants are from the affiliated institutions. So I am focusing on the manual required in context to the affiliated institutions. So broadly, these 7 criteria are divided into 32 key indicators. And again, these key indicators are segregated into 2 types of matrices, qualitative and the quantitative matrices. And that makes a total of 55 matrices. Means 55 matrices means the manual covers majorly 55 questions that any institution is supposed to respond for the NAAC accreditation. Now, in the first criteria, we'll be talking about the quantitative as well as qualitative matrices. So we need to understand the basic difference between these two. The quantitative matrices in the overall, the complete manual covers 62% weightage, and no doubt, this will be verified during the DVV process, that stands for data verification and validation process. And this specific parameters of the matrices needs specific data, figures, and the quantifiable facts in order to as a supporting. On the other hand, when we talk about the qualitative matrices, so they are having a weightage of 38%. Earlier it was a ratio of 70-30. Now it has been made 62 and 38 in the revised manual, what we are discussing today. And this qualitative matrices will be taken care by the peer team when the peer team comes for the inspection to the institute after approval of the SSR. And the qualitative matrices requires a descriptive responses. Now, we need to understand that what is the basic motto behind the NAAC accreditation framework. Basically, NAAC accreditation works on the core values, 5 core values, and these 5 core values, no doubt, will focus on the all 7 criterias. However, they are majorly focusing on the first criteria, which is the curricular aspects. If you look at the first value, which states contributing to the national development, so it simply indicates that our curriculum should be such that the student should be able to contribute for the national development. Second value talks about the global competencies among students. So no doubt, our curriculum should be according to the according so that the student can focus on the global requirements, can match the global competencies in order to meet the competition. No doubt, the value system plays a crucial role in the Indian scenario. So, role of value system, that too in the curriculum, is also very, very important, so that value system can be developed among the students. NAAC also promotes the use of technology. So we need to maintain, we need to update, upgrade our curriculum in a manner so that the maximum use of technology can be carried out while covering up the syllabus or the curriculum. And no doubt, the last core value talks about the excellence. So our curriculum should be such that the excellence, the student should be able to met or can say achieve the excellence after completion of the specific program. So these are the 5 major core values on which the NAAC accreditation is based. Now we'll be focusing majorly on the first criteria, and that to the with respect to the affiliated institutions. As we all know that for any institution, the major responsibility depends on the administrative standing of the institution. In simple words, I would like to say that when we talk about the curriculum, so in context to universities, what happens? Universities have the flexibility to design their own curriculum. They can update it, they can revise it, and implement it also as per the requirement, as per the feedback. And same thing is applicable to the autonomous institutions also. However, when we look on the other side, that is the affiliated colleges. So what happens? Affiliated institutions basically acts as a teaching unit, because they have to fulfill or they need to just implement the curriculum which is being offered by the university. Because we can say that in most of the cases, all faculties will not be invited. Maybe possible in case of some affiliated institutions, it may be possible that some senior faculty or the principal of the institution or the vice principal may be invited as a part of the curriculum revision process, but it isn't applicable to all institutions and not for the all programs. So that brings a type, can say a role where the institutions are majorly towards the implementation part instead of the curriculum development or the assessment procedures or the procedural detailing required during the curriculum framework. Now, we all know that we are living in the age where outcome-based education plays very, very important role. So we need to understand that the curriculum, what we are going to offer, what we are going to implement in the institution, it should be in line with the NEP, National Education Policy, which majorly talks about the outcome-based education. So in broader perspective, I just want to give you an overview of the OBE, that the curriculum, whatever we are making, we are finalizing for the students or we are referring for the students. So it needs to have the well-stated program outcomes. Program outcomes simply indicates that what the institution, what the students are going to achieve after completion of the specific program. Let's assume if you're offering some BCom, BCA, BBA, or MA, MBA. So after completion of the specific program, after 2 year or 3 year of program, what skill set would be achieved by the student? So that needs to be well defined. And no doubt, these programs outcome can be achieved only with the help of the course outcomes, CO. So these course outcome needs to be well stated in each and every subject, or can say course. When we are finalizing any course, so we need to align the course outcome with the program outcome so that we would be able to highlight the correlation or showcase the correlation between the course outcomes and the program outcomes, because it is very, very important to understand that whatever we are teaching during the course or during the curriculum, throughout the program in a span of 2 year or 3 year, it should indirectly contribute to the program outcomes. So this is the can say the basic or can say the broader picture behind the outcome based education. Outcome based education means we should be able to understand that after completion of the specific course, what the student would be able to achieve. Now, as I told you just now that the curriculum should be something that should be in line, but in line with what? It should be in line with the emerging national and the global trends. It means we need to update, we need to upgrade syllabus, and not necessarily only the national and the global trends, but it should be relevant in accordance to the local needs also, which is also very, very important in context to the student development. Apart from this, we can say that the curriculum, we need to provide the flexibility, academic flexibility. We need to provide some sort of curriculum enhancement activities, and no doubt the feedback system plays very, very important role. And feedback doesn't mean that we are taking feedback from one specific stakeholder. No, we need to take feedback from the different stakeholders, that may be the employers, that could be the faculty, that could be student, alumni, and many more. So that after taking the feedback, the curriculum process, the curriculum can be updated, and it can be more, it can be made as a continuous improvement exercise, because it is very, very important to understand that continuous improvement is something which makes us in a position to work for the betterment. So one should not say that, okay, our curriculum is updated, now nothing is left. So this should not happen. We should make the curriculum updation as an important part and parcel of the institution, and the feedback is going to play an important role in the curriculum updation process. Now broadly, the criteria 1, the curricular aspects, is having a weightage of 100 marks, and these 100 marks are divided into 4 key indicators. The first one is curricular planning and implementation, which covers 20 marks. The second key indicator is academic flexibility, which covers 30 marks. The third one is curriculum enrichment, which caters to the 30 marks. And the fourth one, the feedback system, which is in place, caters 20 marks. So let's talk about these one by one. Curriculum planning and implementation. Now, as we all know, and as I have explained just now, and you, as you all belongs to the maybe possible to the specific affiliated or the constituent college, you might be knowing that the major emphasis is on what is on the implementation part. These institutions do not play significant role in the curriculum design and development. So broadly, we can say that the institution needs to focus on the planning, that how the curriculum needs to be covered up, how it can be taught, how well it can be taught, and how well it can be implemented throughout the session, throughout the program, so that the resource potential of the institution, the colleges, the goal of the institutions, and the other concern, societal concern, global concerns can be met as per the requirements. So this is something which plays an important role in context to the affiliated colleges. So broadly, we can say that the first key indicator talks about the uniqueness of the institution, that focuses on the quality in the form of the values, the sensitivity, that they are focusing on the different activities that can be carried out, or the way through which the institution are making the academic process or the curriculum curriculum implementation in an effective and a smooth manner. So let's look at the specific matrices. The first one is 1.1.1 is qualitative matrices, which is a part of the first key indicator, and it is a qualitative one. So as I told you previously also, that the qualitative matrix is something that needs a description, but when you look at this, what this matrices says, the institution ensures the effective curriculum planning and delivery through a well-planned and documented process that includes academic calendar and the conduct of continuous internal assessment. So here we need to understand that the overall picture of the planning and implementation lies on the academic calendar. So here my suggestion to all institutions that before the beginning of your academic session, the head of the institution should make an academic calendar, should finalize the academic calendar in consultation with the faculty and the specific staff members, so that throughout the academic session, the academic activities, extracurricular activities, and other activities can be streamlined in a planned and the smart manner. And no doubt, this academic calendar needs to be made available to the all stakeholder. It should be well displayed to the students. It should be available to the faculty. It should be available on the website of the institution so that anyone whosoever want to refer it can go through it. It is not something a confidential document that it can be made and simply made as a part of a file. No, it needs to be made available to the all stakeholder for the transparency. And for the successful implementation of the academic calendar, the institution needs to focus on the continuous internal assessment. Now, what the continuous internal assessment talks about? Continuous internal assessment talks about the different evaluation techniques the institutions may be adopting for. Maybe it could be like maybe possible that if your institute, if some faculties has completed first unit of the curriculum, so after first unit some exercise needs to be given to student. We can have some type of quizzes. It could be online quiz also. We can have some type of can say some assignment could be there, so that we would be able to assess whether the students are getting the proper inputs or not. So maybe possible after first unit we can have some uniform exercise for all subjects. Then after can say after completion of next two units, unit 2 and 3, then we are going for the midterm examination. So again, we would be in a position to assess the continuous assessment of the student needs to be carried out, because this gives us a broader picture of the actual implementation of the curriculum, whether the faculties are teaching as per the requirement, whether the students are able to get acquainted with the inputs being provided by the faculty. Is there any gap exists or some improvement is required? So this is only possible when we are involving or when we are following a continuous internal assessment process, and which is very, very important for institutions to implement and proceed further. Now, as it is a qualitative matrices, so what the institution needs to do, institutions are supposed to prepare a write-up of around 500 words, and this 500 words needs to be uploaded on the NAAC portal. But whatever we are writing in these 500 words, it needs to be supported with some specific documents. Now, as it is clearly stated that it is stating about the academic calendar, so no doubt we need to upload the academic calendar of the institutions, which is approved and finalized by the head of the institution, means duly signed by the principal of the college. And as we have just talked about the continuous internal assessments, so each and every institution needs to have a continuous internal assessment scheme, or can say needs to have a internal assessment scheme which comprises of different components, like as I told you, quiz, test, it could be some viva, it could be some presentation, some case study, some practical viva, some project could be there. So that needs to be covered up and that needs to be attached as a supporting document, so that whatever we are going to describe as a response to this specific matrices, that should be in a justification mode. I hope, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Now let's move to the second key indicator, which talks about the academic flexibility. Now, here academic flexibility is very, very important to understand, because it majorly talks about the time frame of the courses. It focuses on the horizontal mobility. It talks about the interdisciplinary options and many more. But Here we need to understand that this flexibility needs to be covered up with the help of certain supplementary enrichment programs that should be introduced as an initiative of the institution or the college. But the final selection, the supplementary programs, what we are planning, what we are offering, it should be a well documented activity. It should not be something that the institution is offering looking at a minor perspective. No, it should be from the broader perspective. So let's look into it. Now, sorry, as it has been shown that the first key indicator academic flexibility is comprises of 30 marks, which is 1.2. Again, this second key indicator is having two matrices. One is 1.2.1 and second is 1.2.2. So this is the quantitative matrices. So it is comprised of 15 marks. So both matrices 1.2.1 and 1.2.2 carries equal marks, 15 each. So first talks about the number of add-on certificate programs, value-added programs offered during the last 5 years. So here we need to understand that along with the curriculum, what type of different value-added programs being initiated by the institution in order to support student, in order to enhance the skills of students so that they would be able to attain required skill set which is required as per the industry requirement. Now, as I explained in the qualitative matrices that we need to give the descriptive response. What happens in case of quantitative matrices? Here in case of quantitative matrices, there is a standard data template which is being provided by the NAAC, and the institutions are supposed to provide or upload data in the standard format. Basically, it is a format. This format is in Excel format, MS Excel, and this is a standard format given by the NAAC. So institutions cannot change it. So they are supposed to just put the entry in the format being provided to the NAAC. So I'm just showing the data template for this matrices. Just have a look. When you look at this data template, you will find that the first column talks about, look at this, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. So this matrices is talking about the 5-year data, last 5 academic years data. And what they are asking for, the first column is talking about the name of the add-on or the certificate program or the value-added program, whatever we are trying to offer. Then after this, we need to provide the course code. If we have made any course code, then it can be written, otherwise it can be left out. Then the year in which this has been offered. Then may be possible that that some courses are very popular, so may be possible that the institutions are offering multiple times during the academic year. So that needs to be shown that how many times it has been offered in the specific year. Then comes the duration of course, like it is for 10 hours, 20 hours, 30, 40, or more than that, or a shorter duration. So that needs to be highlighted. Then the second last column talks about the number of students enrolled in the year. In the specific year, how many students have enrolled in the specific program. So their number needs to be mentioned. And the last column talks about the number of students completing the course in the year. So it is very, very clear to understand that in normal course of actions, what happens, many institutions simply enroll students, but at the end of the course, they do not go for any type of evaluation. So which is totally wrong. Because if you are offering certain type of programs to a student, so after completion at the end of this certificate program or the value-added program, you need to carry out some evaluation. It could be some type of written examination, it could be some MCQ pattern, it could be anything, but there should be some way through which you are able to assess whether the students have gained something from the program or not. So in simple words, it should not happen in all programs that if 100 students are enrolled in the program and all 100 have completed. Maybe possible, it may be right also, but not necessary in all years, and that too in all programs. So that plays a very, very important role to understand here, because many institutions simply assumes that if most of the students are registering and We are just passing on them to the next batch. So that is not the practice. Now, here we need to understand that what is the significance of these value-added or the certificate programs. So the main objective behind these programs being offered is to bridge the gap between the institution and the industry, because many times it happens that whatever we are teaching to the students as a part of curriculum, many times it happens that we may found that the curriculum may be little old, it is not matching the present scenario requirement of the industry. So we can identify that what type of courses can be or the programs can be added so that this gap can be overcome. This program should focus on the enrichment of the knowledge of the students beyond the curriculum, because in curriculum what we are teaching is very good, but beyond that, what how we can facilitate the students to gain better knowledge or something new knowledge. So that is there. Now, no doubt, in context to the postgraduate programs or can say undergraduate programs, also these certificate programs or the value-added programs could be a better way to prepare the students for the placement perspective. And it is not necessary that it is focusing only on the placement or the industry requirement. Not necessary. It could be something that could be as per the career development, some growth also. It could be some value added system also, some value practices also. So in simple terms, we need to understand that how this can be carried out, and it is not necessary that the institutions are doing by their own. Maybe possible that if any institution do not have the resources for the specific program what they are planning for, so they can have the tie up with some other institutions, agencies of the good reputed one, so that the actual purpose of offering these programs can be served. It is also written over the slide that value added courses programs, it serve as a tool for the bridge between the university curriculum and the industry requirements. Resource persons, the experts from the industry, it provides the student an awareness of the specific technology being placed. It can help them to improve their skills, and no doubt it can help them to improve their personality also. It gives a confidence to the students because they are gaining something which is beyond the curriculum. It can help them in the better placement also. So this we need to understand that this is very how these are going to play an important role and how it needs to be carried out. Now, as it is a quantitative matrices, and we have seen that in case of quantitative matrices, we are supposed to provide the facts and the figures also. So in the data template, we are simply providing the numbers, like how many programs being offered, how many students being registered, how many students being completed, what for the duration, and so on. But in order to get the approval during the data verification and validation process, DVV, what we need to do, we need to have the supporting documents also. So for each and every program, what we have highlighted in the data template, what we need to do, we need to have the proper name of the program. We need to have the clarity about the duration of the program. We need to have the list of the student, and that should be signed by the specific student only. We need to have a detailed curriculum, what we are going to cover in the specific program. Then the assessment procedures, as I told you that at the end of the program, there should be some process through which we are going to evaluate their performance. So the assessment procedure that has been adopted by the institutions, that needs to be highlighted. Beside this, for each and every program, we need to have the summary report for that to year wise, and along with the outcome. Outcome means what has been achieved by the student after completion of course, what differentiation has been brought in the students' personality, their skill set, their behavior, and many more. Then we can have the attendance list of the student with their signature that have participated in different programs. So these are the something facts and figures that the institution needs to make available to the NAAC portal, and these needs to be uploaded on the NAAC portal. Maybe possible sometimes it may happen that the size of the data what we are trying to cover up is not matching, it is not possible for the institutions to upload on the NAAC portal. So in that case, NAAC is giving you provisions to upload on your website only. That provision is also possible. So we can upload these data on our website, and then we can upload the link of that on the NAAC portal. So that is also acceptable. But only thing we need to understand that it should be only on the institution website. It should not happen that we are uploading on Google Drive or we are uploading on some other cloud. So that is not being accepted by the NAAC. Beside this, the moment we are offering these courses, so after completion of courses, we are giving certain type of certificate to the students also. So some sample certificate that needs to be uploaded along with this. And maybe one more very important point to understand, that it is not the case that any program which we are offering, which is of around, let's assume 5 hour, 10 hour, that will be accepted. No, any program, whatever program we are offering to the student, which are of at least or minimum 30 hours, that will be considered for the purpose of specific matrices score. So here we need to understand that whatever courses we are trying to offer to the student, it should be at least of 30 or more than 30 hours duration. Then only it will be considered by the NAAC during the data verification and validation process. And no doubt, whatever the list of the students we are providing to we are uploading on the portal, NAAC portal, as a part of data template. So maybe possible that during data verification and validation process, data relating to any student, any specific set of students can be asked. Their attendance records can be asked. So we need to be very particular, very careful for all these things. Then next is the second part of this is again a quantitative matrices, which simply talks about, like first point is talking about the different types of value added courses being offered, and the second is talking about the percentage of students enrolled in the courses or the value added programs against the total number of students in the last 5 years. So what is the percentage of students, those who are opting for the programs which is being offered by the institution. So here we need to understand very carefully that it should not happen that the institution is many institutions are offering multiple programs, but the number of students opting for these programs is very less. So it clearly indicates that if any institution is offering a program and if the students are not enrolling for the program, so that indicates that whether the program which is being offered is not meeting the requirement of the students, or can say it is not as per the choice of the students. Maybe possible that the program delivery or the course structure is not as per the requirement. So there could be some lacuna. So this 1.2.2 is going to support, or can say is going to cross check the 1.2.1. So it simply indicates that what is the percentage of students, those who are enrolling in these programs. So again, it is a quantitative matrices. So it is again having a data template, and no doubt the data template what we have seen previously. So the data template is common for both. When you look at this top, you will find that, at the top that 1.2.1 and 1.2.2, like number of add-on certificate programs offered during the last 5 years. And second point states on the top of the file, a percentage of students enrolled in this, because this data template is covering the both matrices 1.2.1 and 1.2.2 only also. So that clearly gives a broader picture to understand that it is not the case that the institution is offering multiple programs, that it is also there that the students are also opting for it. Then only it can be considered on the positive front. Okay, so let's proceed to the next point. Now, before proceeding, like being a quantitative matrices, so again, the requirement, or can say documentation, is more or less same what I have explained just now. Attendance sheet is required because we need to highlight the number of students. So the number of students can be tracked only looking at the number of students, how many students being enrolled for the programs and how many of them actually attended the program. Then the certificate The sample certificate can be attached, uploaded, and during the data verification validation process, it may be possible that the NAAC team may ask for the list randomly. Any random name of the students may be provided to the institution, and they may ask for the attendance record on the specific date. Okay, on this date, this student, let's assume Mohan, the name of student is Mohan. Mohan, for the program for the value added course data analytics, has attended this course or not on this date. So that is something which can be easily tracked by the NAAC. Okay, what the institution is talking or giving the data, it is reliable or not. So here the institutions needs to focus on the documentation also, because what I have seen in most of the institutions, that many institutions are really putting a lot of work. They are doing sincere work also. They are carrying out many activities also, but they are lagging in the documentation process. So here we need to understand that documentation is the key to success. So documentation has to be made very crucial and very important for the institution. Then comes the key indicator 1.3, the third one, which is curriculum enrichment. Now this curriculum enrichment basically talks about the holistic development of student. The main purpose, because this it simply assumes that the curriculum, the main purpose of curriculum is the holistic development of the students, because the curriculum is the first criteria, the first, can say, evaluation parameter. So, and the curriculum should be in line with the industry, in line with the global requirement, in line with the societal requirement, in line with the real value systems also. So whether the curriculum is giving the holistic picture to the students or not. And no doubt the institutions are expected to have the provision for the different value added courses. May be possible, because in case of what happens in case of affiliated institutions, they are bounded by the curriculum being offered to them from the university. So they have only one way, is to offer certain courses, or not necessary courses always, it could be activities also, what they are doing in order to build the holistic development among students. Now, as I told you just now, that it must contribute by sensitizing students on the certain issues which are relevant to the both national and the international level, like gender, environment consciousness, sustainability, human values, professional ethics, and so on. So broader perspective should be covered on these. And the value added courses should be from the wide range. It should belong to the wide range, and it should be covered with the help of different activities. And it should not happen that the institution, if any institution is offering any course, so they cannot make it compulsory for all students to attend. There should be a choice. The student should be given a choice to choose that whether they want to have the interest in the specific course or the specific activity. So this needs to be given, because if you are making it mandatory or compulsory, then how it is a choice-based credit system. So here we need to understand that outcome can be achieved only if and only if that something is given, something being achieved with the help of the choice-based system. So we need to understand that the courses being offered to the students, it should be of wide variety, wide range, so that the students, different students, can opt as per their requirement, their preference, their interest, and their inclination also. So that is an important aspect here. Now this 1.3.1, it is a qualitative metric, and it simply says that institutions integrate the cross-cutting issues relevant to the professional ethics, gender, human values, environment, and sustainability into curriculum. So here you are supposed, the institutions are supposed to respond towards it in context to the, like, you can highlight, you can give the answer response to this question by highlighting the specific subjects or the courses, can say, which are focusing on the professional ethics, focusing on the human values, focusing on the environment consciousness, and many more, so that it can give the overall picture that we are not making students can say like machine. We are making students a overall picture, overall perspective of the students being developed. And no doubt, along with this write up, we need to give the supporting documents also, so that it can be justified. Maybe possible that it may happen that in many courses, that the complete course is not talking about these issues, but maybe possible that some unit, some chapters in a specific course is talking about the human values, something about the gender equity, and so on. So that can be highlighted and it can be uploaded as supporting documents, so that it can justify, okay, it is a part of the curriculum. Then in the same key indicator, the next matrices is the quantitative matrices, which is focusing on the experiential learning of students. Experiential learning means what? Means how the students are going for the project work, field work, internship, and other experiential based learning. Because curriculum should be such that it should focus on the theoretical aspects as well as the pragmatic aspects also. Means that too, that can provide them the real time skill set, that can give us the real time exposure of the industry, their work culture, their different organizational ethics, the how the organization needs to work, how the organizations are working, what type of value system they are working upon. They can go on with certain type of research project. Maybe possible that student can go for the social project also, can go for the minor research project also, can go for the surveys also. So basically, in broader perspective, this matrices talks about the field work, or can say experiential learning, internship also, industrial visit also. So that needs to be supported for this point. And as it is a quantitative matrices, so again it is having a standard format data template for which we are supposed to provide the data. But here one thing we need to understand, that this here they are asking for the data of the last, or can say latest completed academic year only. So here we have to provide data only for 1 year, and that to the last academic year. So just look at the data template. Here, what they ask for the percentage of students, those who are undertaking project work, field work, internship in the last completed academic year. So here we can simply write the name of the program code, and then we can highlight the list or the number of students, those who are involved in the project work, field work, internship. And the last column talks about the link to the relevant document, because what happens, may be possible throughout the program there could be different set of students carrying out different activities. So, and it is not possible to upload each and everything on the NAAC portal, because there is a restriction of the size or the data to be uploaded on the NAAC portal. So what we can do, we can upload these documents on the institution website, and the link of that documents can be link of that document can be provided here, so that anyone during the data being it is a quantitative matrices, so it will be cross-checked during the data verification validation process, so it can be easily cross-checked during the DVV process. And no doubt it will have again certain type of requirements, like we need to have the list of the students undertaking the field project, internship, along with the title, the place of work where the internship being carried out. They need to produce the internship completion certificate also. If they are carrying out the project work, the project completion certificate should be there, that too from the specific organization where they are going for the internship. And that internship needs to be focused on the duration of the internship also. Along with this, they need to focus on they need to provide the sample reports, the report of the field work. They need to provide some sample photograph of the field work, permission letter from the specific organization for which they have carried out the field work, and so on. So that the whatever document or whatever point we are justifying, we are showcasing, can be cross-checked. one point we need to understand here. Look at this template. It simply says the percentage of student. So when it talks about the percentage is something that needs to understand here. So that's why here it is written. Look at the first point. It simply says that one student involved in multiple field work. Maybe possible there is a student who is very enthusiastic and is involved in different activities, but in project work also, internship also, field work also, the student is present all over. But one student involved in multiple will be counted as one only, because they are focusing on the percentage. So here that we need to understand. So in broader perspective, broader picture, they simply want that the almost, you can say, most of the students should go for the experiential learning. That's why they are talking about the percentage, not the number. In case of fieldwork, mentioning the objective, outcome of the fieldwork along with the fieldwork report. If any institution, any student is or group of the student are carrying out fieldwork, so what were the objective of the fieldwork? What is the outcome being achieved? So that needs to be highlighted very carefully, and that too in the detailed manner, because during data verification and validation process, anything can be asked to the institute, and that the institution needs to be submitted in the short span of time. So in simple words, again, I will repeat that institution needs to focus on what? On the better documentation process. And I can say that here the role of IQAC is very, very crucial, because IQAC can take a lead here, and IQAC can initiate can say a process, a systematic process through which data can be collected. Then the last key indicator is 1.4, which is feedback system, which is of 20 marks. Now, as I told you in the beginning itself, that curriculum revision and redesign should be based on some logic, some facts and figures. So that's why here it is talking about the feedback system. So if we are revising our curriculum, so it should be based on the recent development and the feedback from the stakeholders. And again, the feedback from the stakeholder, it should be in context to the relevance, appropriateness, in context to the need of the society, economy, environment, so that the curriculum can be improved with the help of proper inputs. And this is applicable, this is no doubt very, very important for all the institution, that all higher education institution, they need to have the feedback system in place. And this feedback should not be a process of collecting the feedback from the stakeholder. No, it should also emphasize after collection, we should analyze it, so that we can identify some key points, and so that these key points can be chalked out in during the revision of curriculum, so that the actual learning effectiveness can be implemented. Now again, this is this matrices, this key indicator is having one matrices, which is again a quantitative matrices, which simply asks that the institution obtains feedback on the academic performance and the ambience of the institutions from various stakeholders like student, teacher, employer, alumni, etc. And action taken report on the feedback, and that should be made available on the institution website. So when you look at this metric, you will find that it is though it at the end they are simply writing yes or no, but in broader perspective it is focusing on four major things. The first one is whether the institution is taking feedback, first thing. After taking feedback, thus the institution is analyzing it, second thing. After analyzing it, is there any action taken report being carried out? Okay. And after that, after action taken, it is being made available to the on the institution website or not. So these are the, can say, the focus area that the institution needs to understand. Now again, it is a quantitative metric, so it is having a data template. I am just showing it to you. Just look at it. So broadly, it talks about the 4 points. The first point says that the feedback collected, analyzed, action taken, and feedback is hosted on the website. Second is feedback collected, analyzed, and action taken. It means not on the website. Third point says that the feedback collected and analyzed, but no action taken. And fourth says that feedback is collected, but not analyzed. And the last point says that the feedback is not collected. So it is being represented A, B, C, D, E. So if any institution is going for the complete process, that is A, so we'll get the highest score. If any institution is going for the E, we'll get the 0 marks for this. But it is not a matter of giving marks or getting marks. We need to understand that NAAC is highlighting, showcasing all these things so that the quality culture in the institutions can be enhanced. Maybe possible that many institutions are not doing for the feedback process as of now, but they can start it. This is the main objective of NAAC. The main objective behind NAAC is that the institution should understand that what are the quality parameters and how to achieve it, how to implement it. So that's why they are NAAC. If you'll find that the NAAC on regular basis updating its manual, you will find that in the last 6 months, I think NAAC has updated manual at least 2 times. So that simply indicates that how well they are trying to understand the requirement of the institutions, and they are trying to revise it as per the requirement. So that plays an important role. Now here again it is a quantitative matrix, so it will ask for certain set of documents as a supporting, which will highlight the facts and figures. These are sample filled in feedback forms from the stakeholder to be provided, maybe from student, faculty, alumni, employer, it could be anyone. Then the feedback analysis report needs to be signed by the principal, because analysis, if we are carrying out any feedback, so feedback needs to be brought to the knowledge of the principal, and principal should verify the feedback report. Then after this, if the feedback is being carried out, then the department wise action taken report, like how the different departments are taking the feedback and they are working on the feedback, so that whatever points being recommended or suggested during the feedback, it is being implemented, no doubt. In case of affiliated institutions, it is not possible for them to update their curriculum looking at the feedback, but at least what they can do, they can communicate, they can share this feedback report to the affiliating university, so that in future when the university is going to revise the curriculum, looking at the feedback report provided by the institution, the university can take certain measures. So that could be win-win situation for all stakeholders. And no doubt, may be possible that if any institution has given some feedback to the university and the university has taken some action on the feedback, and on the basis of the feedback they have gone for some action, so again that needs to be documented. So these are the supporting documents that can help the institutions, or can say NAAC, to understand that there is the actual well-defined feedback system present in the organization, or can say in the institution. Now there are certain points that needs to be understand, that only filled in feedback forms to be considered. Like if you simply show the sample feedback form, not the filled one, so that is not being considered by the NAAC. NAAC can ask for some randomly selected stakeholders. Feedback report needs to be hosted on the institution website, which is very, very important. And feedback reports reflected on other website in this case, that the institution needs to highlight the report on their institution website. It should not be there on some other source or some other platform, which is totally irrelevant. So feedback should be on the institution website itself, so that it can be made available and transparent to the all stakeholders. Now this is the broader picture of the criteria 1 in context to the affiliated institutions. However, I just want to give you some more overview relating to the what type of documents, or can say key documents required for the criteria 1. Like maybe possible the institutions are not doing it as of now, but my request to all of the faculty members, IQAC coordinators, principals, those who are attending this workshop, they can work upon these documents. Like academic calendar, they can work upon. They can have the academic activity, their planning process. They need to have the session plans. They can have the teacher's diary. They can have the timetable, and they can have the departmental meeting minutes well documented in their place, so that whenever being required for the last 5 years, so it can be placed as a when required, and it could be made available in a easy manner. Besides this, the learning outcomes and the action taken reports are also very important to understand, and it needs to be documented. The attendance record for all programs, the different programs, courses being offered, that needs to be documented. If some result analysis is being carried out, that also needs to be required for the continuous improvement, because continuous improvement is something very crucial for the outcome based system, outcome based learning as per the NEP. So that needs to be focused upon. Now the next this slide is talking about the tips, like how we are supposed to respond to the qualitative answer. So we have seen that there are 3 to 4 matrices that belongs to the qualitative one. So simply what happens, whatever the question or the point is, what we need to do, we need to showcase the effective implementation and the outcome of the specific practice what we are talking about. Then along with that, we are supposed to have some facts and figures in the write-up. Then we need to highlight the continuity also. That let's assume that if you are saying academic calendar, so it should not happen that you are talking about the present academic calendar. We need to highlight that the academic calendar the institution is following from the last 3 year, 4 year, and it has become the regular practice. And we can add on the future plan also. And no doubt, at the end, what we need to do, we need to highlight the uniqueness of the activity, task being carried out in the write-up, so that it gives a zeal to understand that what is the uniqueness of the specific practice being adopted by the specific institutions. So this is something which makes this attractive and easy to understand. And there are some more tips from my side. Keep all supporting documents on the institution website only. Google Drive should be avoided. Facts and figures, whatever we are claiming, we are uploading on the SSR should match with the AICG or NRF data we are uploading from the in context to student and the staff on roll. Staff means basically faculties. And we need to understand that the quality is something which is a continuous process. So this is something benchmark. So this is all from my side. Now I'm open to the question answer. If any participant would like to ask questions, so it is most welcome. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now we can talk about the question answer. If any participant have any questions, so we can discuss right now.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak Jaroliya, sir, for enriching the content covered regarding curricular aspects. Hope this was an informative and enriching session, which will help us to frame our curriculum as per NAAC standards. Dear participants, now the session is open for questions. If you have any questions, kindly unmute and you can ask the questions. Sir, in the chat box, we don't have any questions posted. So we need to wait for the audio. Dear participants, if you have any questions, please, you can ask for the questions. Deepak sir, there is a question. Feedback to be collected from employers. Can you please explain, sir? This question is being asked by Rajeshwari R.
Yeah, feedback from the employer means, madam, like if any student being placed, or maybe some companies are coming to your institution for the placement purpose. So looking at the understanding of the students, their knowledge, it may be possible the expectation of the industry, and maybe it may match or it may not match, or there could be some gap. So here what we need to understand, we can ask the experts, those who are coming from the industry for the purpose of placement, for some other activity, for interaction if they are coming. So what we can do, we can take their feedback on the existing curriculum, and they can suggest that what updations are required in the specific courses. So that is a feedback from the employer actually.
Thank you, sir. The audience, if you have any question, you can unmute and ask for the question.
Good evening, sir.
You're not audible, sir, please. I'm not able to hear what he has asked actually.
Amar, sir, you can unmute and ask for the question if you have any.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
I have a question where this value-added courses that are to be offered are concerned. It says the course needs to be provided for 30 hours and certificates are to be issued. So once we issue these certificates to the students, and during the NAAC peer team visit or during when the DVV asks us for any certificates, how do we show that when we've already issued the same to the students, sir?
Ma'am, we can retain a copy with, like let's assume that if any institution is printing the mark sheets of the students, so the copy needs to be maintained in the institution for the future records also.
Okay.
So
Because as such, we have offered the courses, but the certificates we've already issued to the students. Now, if DVV asks us for the same, it becomes difficult for us to provide because we've not maintained any such copy of the same.
But what you can do, if you have actually done the activity and you have gone for the program, so you can have some sample certificates you can prepare. Because you might be having some formats on which the certificate is being prepared. So
we have the samples, sir. We have the sample certificates. I have attached about 4 sample certificates as the proof. But it says very clearly, DVV may ask for any certificate on a random basis. So there, I think we might have a little bit of problem.
Yeah, what you can do, you can connect with the passed out students, the alumni, and ask for the copy of the certificates if they can provide to you. That is the one way.
Oh, okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I think that's a little bit difficult.
Yeah, I agree. It is difficult, but what happens, because NAAC just wanted to spread these things among the institutions, that documentation is something which is the key to the success. So that's why they are asking for the geotech photographs. They are asking for the certificates of any student, because that simply clearly indicates that documentation plays an important role.
Now, what if we've taken their signature, sir, while we give them the certificates? If we've taken their signature, can we show that as a proof?
It can be shown as a proof, but again, it depends that on the specific DVV partner, that whether they will accept it or not.
Okay, so thank you so much.
Yeah, what we can do, instead of doing this, along with the signature, you can have the list of the students approved or the signed by the principal of the institutions along with the sample certificate. So that can be considered.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, yeah.
Hello, Deepak sir?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, I have a query. So in the feedback system, we will be collecting the feedback from different stakeholders, right?
Yeah.
So can it be collected through Google Forms?
Yeah, it can be collected through any means. It could be in hard copy. You can do it on the Google Forms also. Okay. But if you are collecting from the Google Forms, so you are supposed to maintain the record properly that you have shared, because the moment you are collecting via Google Form, so you might have shared the link with a specific employer, alumni via email. So that needs to be tracked.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay. Yes. Because in case they will ask to you that, okay, if you have collected from any person, then can you justify that it has been shared via email? So we need to have the proof for the same. That's all.
Okay, fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, there's a question. by Aruna Devi. So can we include diploma and certificate courses in value-added course? Question.
Yeah, ma'am. You can add certificates in the value-added courses, but not necessarily diploma, because diploma comes to the programs. So diploma may come in the category of program. So diploma cannot be as a value-added courses, but certificate courses can be considered as a part of value-added courses.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Audience, if you have any question, kindly raise the question. I think we are done with the questions answer session, sir.
Yeah.
Now, I would like to request Mr. Shivakumara, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, to give the closing remark and propose vote of thanks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Good evening, everyone. It has been such an honor to be a part of this event. On behalf of Shivananda Sharma Memorial RV College and the entire fraternity of the Institute, first of all, my sincere thanks to Almighty God for making today's event a grand success. By His blessings and grace, we are able to make the event what it was. On behalf of the SSMRV College, I give really a heartfelt vote of thanks to our today's resource person, Dr. Deepak Jaroliya, Professor and the IQAC Coordinator, Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Sir, what you are explained that is 1.1.1, that is qualitative metric, and as well as 1.2.2, that is quantitative metrics and the feedback, and whatever the how the IQAC and as well as institute has to be focused on which the data can be collected, especially with relevant to the data validation and verification, then curricular enrichment. And along with this, you clearly mentioned that what are the tips for answering the qualitative questions, which helps a lot to prepare the supporting documents, the criteria one, and as well as which helps a lot to change their perception, how to be provide the documents with relevant to the criteria one point. So definitely, I think so. Your speech is truly inspirational. After your speech, I think a lot of change is going to be happen. We promise you to ask for the changes. Definitely, I think from your what you presented now, after this, the criteria one will be definitely very easy to uh, provide our supporting documents. And thank you for from the heartfelt of on behalf of the SSMRV College and IQAC Department of Commerce. Thank you, sir. Thanks for
Yeah, thank you very much, Shivkumarji, and the whole team of SSMRV College and the head of the institutions and the IQAC coordinator. Thanks for inviting me as a resource person. Thank you and wish you all the best for the remaining sessions. Thank you. Should I leave the meeting now?
1 minute, sir. Probably in 2 minutes we'll close the session.
Yeah.
A special mention to our venerable principal, Dr. S. Anil Kumar sir, who inspired us to do our best and stand as the pillar of the power with deep sense of appreciation. Thank you, sir.
Sir, on behalf of the institution, I would like to thank for being a resource person for today's session, sir.
It's my pleasure, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sincere thanks to our beloved director, Dr. Geeta Madam, for her insightful thoughts, vision, and commitment. Thank you, Madam. I thank our well-wisher, motivator, Dr. Nagaraj sir, Head Department of Commerce and an IQAC coordinator. Thank you, sir. I would also like to extend my gratitude and thanks to Mr. Gokul, event coordinator, who always ready to take such responsibility. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Most welcome.
I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to entire fraternity of the institute. And I thank to organizing team, technical supporting team for making this event a grand success. I thank each and every one for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you for your precious presence here in spite of your hectic schedule. Thanks to all who helped either directly or indirectly to make the event successful. Thank you one and all. And I would like to end this event formally by saying Gaur Gopal Das quote, our experience in life depends on what we focus on. If we change our focus, we can change our life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Here
Thank
we
you.
end the day 2 session of 7-day national level webinar. We request you all to join the day 3 session at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow on the topic Criterion 2, Teaching, Learning and Evaluation by Dr. Siddhaya. Hope you had an informative session. Thank you once again for joining us. Thank you all. Have a great day. We will be sharing the feedback link in the chat box as well as in the WhatsApp group. Thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deepak, sir.
Thank you.
Anil,
Thank you
sir.
very much. Thank you.